Turning to breaking news from overnight on Chicago's north side. Chicago police say 2 people were shot and killed and a third person was hurt. This happened early this morning near Broadway and Rosemont. It's still unknown what led up to that shooting. So far, no one is in custody.
Show your face! Show your face, please, with sugar on top!
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest TDF first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, as some of you may or may not know already, OBlock's own Munna along with OBlock Youngin has been shot and unalive last night in Chicago as they were celebrating OBlock Glitch's birthday. Now it's kind of crazy because we already brought the news to y'all before, but now we have an update concerning everything that was going on. Now, aside from a Facebook post that we're going to get into, we also have 2 news articles that explain exactly what happened. And according to the news articles, they're saying that it actually was a drive-by shooting. Now, according to Squid 8, they will actually upload a post where somebody who was actually at the bar that everybody was at will witness what actually happened. But they said that the shooter was on foot. However, the article explaining what happened that's in the news says that it was a drive-by shooting. So we're not sure which one is accurate, but we're going to bring both of them to y'all, and y'all come to your own conclusion with everything. Not to mention, Mellow Bucks also has something to say that we're going to get into, which is kind of crazy because she shows that Munna actually called her last night and told her to come outside. Now she's saying that she didn't because she just didn't want to be outside last night, which ultimately probably saved her life. Because who knows, if she was there, maybe she could have got caught in the crossfire or something. Who knows, but we do know God works in mysterious ways, and maybe that was the reason she stayed home. Now we're going to get into everything, but before we do, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it. Now, according to Squid 8, they would say someone speaks on a situation where Munna and Youngin were unalive a few hours ago. Now the Facebook post will say, quote, "Thanking God for protecting my baby and her friends last night. They were at this bar and had just got into their vehicle, stating that they saw the ninja just pacing outside of the bar with the ski mask on. I asked her, why didn't y'all just leave when y'all saw that? She said, Ma, I didn't think anything of it because there was ninjas inside of the bar with ski masks on too. Like, who the F allows that? I said, make that your last time going to that bar, cause what the F?" So the guys walk out, the gunman starts shooting them. The boys running towards my daughter's friend's car. One of the bullets hit the car. None of them were hurt by the grace of God, and then one of them collapsed right in front of a vehicle and dies. Hashtag stay alert. Now before we get into the news article, I don't know what it is with these ski masks, but ever since COVID started and everybody was allowing it, now it just seems like everybody's using ski masks to go out, and that could be very, very dangerous. I believe in Long Island, New York, if you go out there wearing a ski mask, you could be fined a certain amount of money for having it on in a public place. And I think a lot of places need to start implementing that because these kids is getting out of control with these ski masks on. The crazy part is you can have it on, maybe if it's cold outside, or even that's dangerous. But to have a ski mask on in 60, 70, 80 degree weather, you just look suspect. And personally, I believe anybody that have that on in hot weather, you're just up to no good. And I think law enforcement should definitely implement the fact that if you do have it on, then you need to be penalized for it, because maybe that will stop a lot of these things from happening. Back in the days, if you had a ski mask on, you will automatically be labeled as somebody trying to steal something or just doing crime, period, because why else would you be trying to cover your face? These days it's normalized, and you don't know who's doing what in situations like this happen, where you have a shooting in a public area and there's surveillance cameras all over. However, the shooter can't be identified because there's no witnesses that could tell you what they look like, and the cameras can't tell you as well. So it's like, what's the sense in the cameras if you're allowing people to have ski masks on in public areas or in public places? These establishments and restaurants that allow it, they should be fined, right? They should be ashamed of themselves. How are you allowing people to come in your establishment and have ski masks on? You know the type of look that makes your establishment have? Nobody gonna wanna go there. I know, imagine going to a restaurant and you see somebody in there with a ski mask on. Anyway, let's get into the news article. Now, it's two news articles that tell us something that happened. One explains that a drive-by transpired and the other one tells us something else. Now, the first article would say, quote, the shooting happened in the 6300 block of North Broadway in the Edgewater neighborhood, according to the Chicago Police Department. Officers responded to the scene around 1:20 a.m. and found multiple victims shot, including a 28-year-old man who was shot multiple times and taken to St. Francis Hospital, where he died. A 31-year-old man who was shot in the chest and taken to Weiss Memorial Hospital, where he died. A 36-year-old man who was shot in the back and taken to Evanston Hospital in fair condition. The victims were unable to provide details of the incident, police said. Area detectives are investigating. No one is in custody. It's unclear exactly what led to the shooting. Police did not identify the victims. Now, another CBS News article would say, quote, 2 men unalived, another hurt in drive-by shooting overnight in Edgewater. 2 men are dead and another is hurt after an overnight drive-by shooting in the Edgewater neighborhood. It happened just before 1:30 a.m. in the 6300 block of North Broadway. Police scanner radio says the shooting happened at the Pork Chop Barbecue restaurant. The restaurant is known to have a late-night liquor license. Chicago police said officers responded to a call of a person shot and upon arrival found multiple people suffering from gunshot wounds. The victims were not able to provide information about the incident, but police said the victims were standing on a sidewalk when someone drove by and started shooting. A 28-year-old man was hit multiple times in the body and was taken by fire crews to St. Francis Hospital, where he died. A 31-year-old man was hit in the chest and was taken to Weiss Memorial Hospital, where he died. The third victim, a 36-year-old man, was shot in the back and was taken to Evanston Hospital in fair condition. Broadway was closed for investigation and has since reopened. Alright, so basically what this sounds like, it sounds like one of their ops definitely got the drop on them, got their location some way, somehow, and usually that's how it happens. Now, this is why I always talk about being out in the open when you know you're in that lifestyle. 9 times out of 10, if you out, you drinking, celebrating, that's not the problem. But if you in that lifestyle, you don't know who's around. You don't know who knows who. You don't know if you go into an establishment and one of the employees may notice you and they may be related to one of your ops or something. Like, you just never know. That's why you can't just be outside, especially if you in your own city where you know you got beef at. I know it sounds crazy, but this is the lifestyle you chose when you decide you want to be a part of the drill culture and all that street stuff. Because according to the article, it was basically a drive-by shooting. They was out and about, just hanging on the corner. One of the ops must have seen them, or whoever dropped their location came through and started shooting, and they got their target. But that's another thing as well. I don't know whether it was the liquor that was involved or ego, pride, whatever it was. These guys know the type of stuff they in, and they just outside hanging on Front Street. I don't care who you are, what you did, who you know, who you affiliated with, none of that. If you in the streets, you gotta know you can't be anywhere for too long, and you definitely can't just be outside, just in the open, and you know the type of lifestyle that you into. Simple as that. Now, of course, social media being social media, there's already talks of people saying maybe they was backdoored, but to be honest with you, I don't think that's the case here. According to the article and from what we're being told, it was just a clear case of wrong place, wrong time. It was a situation where these guys, maybe they was a little too comfortable. I don't know. But they was in the place where they shouldn't be, outside on Front Street in the open, and the ops just happened to see them, whether they was driving by. It could be one of those situations. Maybe they were driving by and spotted them. Maybe one of the employees or anybody else that was at that gathering seen them and called somebody, and boom, just that quick. Who knows, man? Anyway, that's the details we got. We know that it was a drive-by shooting. Who played a role in it, we don't know. Of course, social media being social media, there's already talks about it being the opposite side, whether it's the GDs or whoever it is. At the end of the day, y'all know it's always going to be like that. If somebody from the BD drop, they're going to say the GDs did it. Somebody from the GDs drop, they're going to say the BDs did it. We don't know. it just is what it is, man. Rest in peace to Munna and OBlock Youngin. My condolences go out to their families. Y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. I'm out.